Sarah couldn't stop thinking about the baby, even after her shift had ended. She decided to visit the infant in the hospital's nursery, and as she held the tiny bundle in her arms, she knew she couldn't just let the baby go into the foster care system. Nurse Sarah was on her usual rounds at the hospital when she heard a faint cry coming from the nearby alleyway. Without hesitation, she followed the sound and found a tiny, shivering baby lying in a cardboard box. The sight broke her heart, and she quickly scooped up the baby in her arms, checking for any signs of injury or illness. The baby was only a few days old, wrapped in a thin blanket and covered in dirt. Sarah couldn't believe that someone would just abandon a helpless infant like this. She immediately rushed back to the hospital and alerted the staff, who quickly sprang into action to provide the baby with medical attention and care. As a nurse, Sarah had seen her fair share of heartbreaking situations, but this one hit her particularly hard. She couldn't imagine what could have led someone to abandon their own child. The thought haunted her as she helped to clean and feed the baby, who seemed to be responding well to their care. Sarah couldn't stop thinking about the baby, even after her shift had ended. She decided to visit the infant in the hospital's nursery, and as she held the tiny bundle in her arms, she knew she couldn't just let the baby go into the foster care system. With compassion in her heart, Sarah cradled the baby in her arms, vowing to be the anchor in this storm of abandonment. Determined to uncover the mystery surrounding the child, she began to investigate and searching for any clues about the baby's origin. As days turned into weeks, the bond between Nurse Sarah and the baby grew stronger, yet the mystery persisted. No one claimed the child and no leads surfaced. Nurse Sarah, undeterred, decided to adopt the baby, embracing the joys and challenges of motherhood. The process wasn't easy, as Sarah had to navigate through the legal and emotional hurdles of adoption. But she was determined to give the baby a loving home and a chance at a better life. She named the baby Lily, and from that day on, they became inseparable. Sarah's colleagues and friends were amazed by her selfless act of kindness. They knew how much love and dedication it took to raise a child, especially one that was not her own. But Sarah was more than happy to take on the role of a mother to Lily, and she poured her heart and soul into giving her daughter the best life possible. As the years went by, Sarah watched Lily grow into a bright and loving young girl. Every time she looked at her, she couldn't help but feel grateful for the day she found her in that alleyway. Lily became the light of Sarah's life, and she was grateful for the opportunity to be her mother. Despite the challenges and struggles, Sarah and Lily's bond only grew stronger with each passing day. Lily knew about her adoption from a young age, and she was always grateful to Sarah for choosing her and giving her a loving home. They often talked about the day they first met, and Sarah would remind Lily that she was her little miracle. Years later, when Lily was all grown up and had a family of her own, she asked Sarah why she decided to adopt her. Sarah simply replied, "Because you were the most precious thing I had ever found, and I knew that I couldn't let you go." Lily hugged her mother tightly, knowing that she was the luckiest person in the world to have Sarah as her mother. From that day on, Sarah and Lily's story became an inspiration to many. They showed that love knows no boundaries, and that sometimes the most unexpected circumstances can lead to the greatest blessings. And for Sarah, adopting Lily was the best decision she ever made. This story teaches love, compassion, and selflessness. It shows that family is not solely defined by blood but by bonds of heart.